Let's just start in the last 24 hours. Social media played a large role in the news cycle. It seemed, at least to me. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh, I would completely agree. In fact, I actually looked today and went back as far as I could to see when I saw the first mention of the shooting last night on Shaw. And I was actually giving a talk last night to a different group, and when I came out, first thing I did was fire up Twitter, and there were already mentions on there. So within an hour or so after the event, people were already starting to discuss it on Twitter, and then it just grew from there and multiplied. And you started seeing the retweets and the Vine videos coming on and the mentions elsewhere, and it was almost, I did not get a chance to check, but I'd be really curious to see who was first. Was it the quote unquote mainstream media, or was it the people there tweeting about it?
Who was first is a question we're going to talk about tonight. But I want to talk to, just sticking with what you're saying, how that timeline breaks down. So people are discussing it long before the traditional deadlines of the 10 p.m. newscast or the midnight file for the newspaper. What does that do?
Well, we went from a world even a decade ago where it was okay for people to wait a week to get their news magazine. It was okay to wait 24 hours to get their newspaper. It was okay to wait 24 hours to get the 6 p.m. news. That world's gone completely. It's not coming back. We're now in that 24/7 world, but it's not the 24/7 world of CNN or Fox News. This is a 24/7 world created by the people who are actually there, the citizens, the observers. They're the ones reporting on this stuff. They're the ones disseminating the videos, getting the word out before the quote-unquote journalists get a chance to be there.
So put us in the mind of a citizen journalist, if that's a word you're trying. I don't know if that's a good word or not. Well, is that a good word?
It's
when it comes to social media and current events.
I tend to be more on the liberal side of the word journalist. I believe there's certainly people that are trained to be journalists and have the nice diploma that says I am a journalist. But I believe the act of journalism can be done by almost anybody that has access to information, is trying to share it and report it and get it out there.
Okay, so put us in the mindset of anyone looking at that timeline that you looked at when you walked out of that meeting. What's credible? What's valid? What has value on social media?
Right, and that's something a lot of people have certainly debated and gotten into. Just a week or so ago, one of the people that's really been on the ground in Ferguson daily, Marie Chappelle Nadal, tweeted,
state senator.
Right, exactly, who's been tear gassed and there every day reporting on it on her Twitter feed and elsewhere. She tweeted, "Rumor, the grand jury has reached a verdict." And she very carefully said rumor. And that set a lot of people off because they said, she's disseminating rumors. Well, she very clearly said rumor. It's one thing in my book to say, this is something I've heard. Can anybody, validate this or not? Versus somebody that's simply saying this happened, which we've also certainly seen plenty of. But I think there's responsible ways to disseminate this and not. The other thing is that video is really powerful. And when you see people using Vine, which is a service owned by Twitter that allows people to post 6-second videos, which obviously are really easy to upload, especially if you're out and about and active. When people see those Vine videos getting posted, that's there, that's immediate, and that's really able to let people know what's happening. When you couple that with the longer videos we've seen, such as when people were protesting at the St. Louis Cardinals game, and there was a very lengthy video showing the vitriolic reaction by people in the crowd. Well, video, when people see video, video doesn't lie. Now, obviously there's ways to manipulate video, but when it's that raw and that immediate, that's what people are taking in, and that has a powerful effect.
Of course, we also, I know I've learned firsthand, you don't know what happened before that video started.
That's true.
And if it's only 6 seconds long,
that's true.
Is that in the minds of the folks who are consuming and producing social media?
Well, the interesting thing about that is, it's one thing if one person says something, but I follow a lot of the people who are active on the ground in Ferguson, and when 10 people who do not know each other, when 10 people say at about the same time, this event is occurring, I'm watching it, and when 3 people post videos from different angles of the same thing, then the debates about, can we treat this as true or not pretty much go out the window, I'd say, for me and for many other people. So that that group of people reporting on that at the same time is extremely powerful.
What about who owns the Twitter account? We talked about the state senator as an example. There are other people who have risen to Twitter prominence, if you will, just based on the number of followers. Are those viewed any differently, or can you have a larger voice on? Could someone have a larger voice than even an active social media state senator?
Oh, sure. I mean, Twitter, you basically are as good as the tweets you make and what people say about those tweets and the retweets you're getting. And so there have been lots of people that I have learned about over the last month that I have been able to follow and learn from and get a sense of, over time, of reading their tweets, what's this person's point of view, where are they coming from, how good are they at treating nuance and reporting on things, and I think that plays a part in it, definitely.